Hello, NG7M here, Max, and doing another video today to demonstrate a Yaesu VL-1000 Quadra. It's a solid-state linear amplifier, and I'm helping a good friend of mine, Jim, W7CT, get this amplifier ready for sale. So Jim is the original owner, I do believe, and so we'll be doing a nice demonstration here. So that, if you're finding this, it will probably start out with a ad on eHam or QSL.net or something like that. If we don't get any takers there, we'll end up on eBay. So you might be seeing this video related to an ad posted in one of those three places probably. So the amplifier, which I'll show you here shortly, just quickly, it's VL-1000. It's got the original manual. I do not have the original boxes, but all the original paperwork is with it. There's the operating manual. We got some operating advice. We've got the VP-1000, which is the power supply, and VL for the linear, I assume, and VP for the power supply. It's two separate pieces, so you can separate the power supply and the amplifier in this case. And we've got the VL-1000 schematic circuit diagram, some goodies there so you can see how it all works. And another little attention doohickey. And the original warranty card. So this is used, so it's not under warranty, but just to show that the original paperwork's here. And this is really nice, the full-on technical supplement for the amplifier and the power supply, so you get all the details there. It goes beyond the in-depth, or goes to in-depth on everything you have there. So what I'm going to do a demo here. We'll be driving the amplifier with a K3 into a Bird 8401 dummy load. And so the Bird dummy load and the K3 are obviously not included in the auction. However, all the cables to integrate with K3 are. So if you happen to have a K3 and you buy the amplifier, it's plug and play. You get it, you can go. It's all integrated together. So enough of let's switch over to the amplifier here. And so I'm just doing this all ad hoc. If we can get it to stay put here. Maybe. There we go. And this is all one take too. So let me see if I can change the light here a little bit. Might be a little bit better. And so you can see up here we got the dummy load and the K3, and this is the VL-1000. If we look down below here, you can see the VP-1000 underneath it there. And the power supply obviously here, and the amplifier. And we'll kind of focus mainly on the amplifier and its display. So without further ado, I think I'll zoom in a little bit on the amplifier here and get it adjusted a little bit. And I think I'm going to go to manual focus because I tend to get a better focus there. With the cabling and interface cables that Jim had set up, W7CT, it's all integrated. So the amplifier will track the transceiver as far as the band data goes, and I believe the Quadra has a built-in frequency counter too, and it keeps track of actually SWR based upon the actual transmit frequency. And the power on is integrated with the K3. Of course, you could disable this if you wanted, but we're going to fire it up here, and you will see the amplifier come on. I'll get in a little bit here. It's doing its self-diagnostics, kind of coming on. Everything's showing that it's happy there. And the display, it's really tough here on the video to get the display to be, just right, but this is about as good as I could get it for the time here involved. And we'll just get it focused a little bit. So you could see that the amplifier came on its own there when I turned on the K3. Nice thing obviously about a linear or a solid state linear is you turn it on and away you go. You got that elusive DX and you want to call him. You don't have to wait 2-3 minutes for a tube-based amplifier to warm up. The Quadra, the controls are accessed through this little panel right here, And what I'm going to show you here, we are on 20 meters, 14 megahertz. You can see the K3, and you'll see that down here, obviously, it's showing 14 megahertz. If I change bands, I go down to 10 megahertz, and you can see that it changed to 10 megahertz. And so it's all fully integrated. There's 7 megahertz. So I've got the drive on the K3 up here around 40 watts there. So it's right at 40 watts. You can see me setting that there. And I'm going to put the amplifier has a low and a high mode, and I'm assuming that that just drives the MOSFETs at different voltage levels. And the power supply puts out 48 volts, 48 I think to 50 volts. And so I'm going to kick it on the low mode. We're in operate here, so that operate or standby. And so in standby, I've got to turn the Vox on the K3. There we go. So you're going to see the drive power 40 watts here on the amplifier, and I'm going to kick it into operate. And so now we're on operate with 40 watts drive in low power on the amplifier, and so it's driving at about 700 watts out there. So that's low power, 40 watts drive on the low power. Well, obviously you could drop that down on the exciter on the K3. Let's go to high power and to show you that you're getting the rated output easily with about 40 watts drive. So it's just under a kilowatt there based upon the meter in the Yaesu. If I drop, bump it up a few watts here, 44 watts, we're close to a kilowatt. So there's a kilowatt there. And the VL-1000 has 8 MRF 150s, I believe, and so they're rated at 150 watts each, so that gives you 1,300 watts. And so you can drive it up there, but I'm going to keep it more at the rated power for the demo, but just to show you that you're getting full. So there's almost 1,200 watts there easily. And the drive was, about 60 watts. But I'm going to keep it right around 40, I think, for the demo, so we'll keep it more down around the rated power. And I'm not sure if you can hear in the video, but the fan just came on there. So that's what it looks like at a kilowatt output there. And the higher fan sometimes kicks on depending on the temperature sensing inside the VL-1000. So let me show you QSK too, just real quick. You can hear the relays, maybe how loud the relays are in the amplifier. Gives you an idea of QSK. Turn that back off, and we're back in semi-break-in. So there's a couple of different displays that are kind of nice on the amplifier, and I'm not super familiar with the manual. I'll go through some of the displays. Here's shows SWR. Obviously, we're into that dummy load, so everything's really nice and flat. Here is a display that focuses on the peak and average power. So you'll see that average power approach the peak power as you key it for a while there. And here's just peak only. So we're right around a kilowatt there. This is kind of interesting. It keeps track of an SWR curve on each band, so you can actually see what the SWR is at the different frequencies there. And we're back to, I believe, the original, the normal menu there, and with SWR. So there's 4 antenna inputs, 1, 2, 3, 4, which is pretty nice. On the back there, you can download the manual and read up on that on Yaesu's site. Oh, I should mention that obviously the VL-1000 is still being sold by Yaesu, and I think they're going for around $4,000 from like ham radio outlet, typically around 4K, I think. The other nice thing that the VL-1000 has is 2 different inputs. If you have 2 radios, you can switch between 2 radio inputs. Remembers the settings between those. So I'm just back to input 1 on antenna 1. Again, we're on 14 megahertz, 20 meters. I do want to run through all the bands, so if you're the lucky recipient, if you either, whether it's an eBay auction or one of the other forums that we post this on, you'll be able to be confident in the purchase here, knowing that you're getting a working amplifier across the bands, the different frequencies that it operates on. So rated at 1 kilowatt across the HF and a 6 meter band. So we're going to go down. Let me just drop down to 160 meters. You can see there, and maybe I'll zoom in a little bit here, and let me adjust that focus. Yeah, there we go. Give you a good idea. So now we are at, again, I'm in operate. I'm on the full power mode. I've got about 42 watts on a 1.8 megahertz, just the low end there, CW. So it's over 1100 watts there output on 160 with, according to the K3's meter, 43 watts drive. Okay, we're going to jump up to 80 meters, and I've got the drive at 40 watts here. So we're over 1 kilowatt there, you can see. So you can see the average too below the, you know, the power out. The average watts will build up there too as you transmit. So let's just go up to 7 megahertz, 40 meters. And I've got the drive there at 45 watts. 10 megahertz. Now I'm into a dummy load here, but I just want to show you that it will give you full output on 10 megahertz, 30 meters. So I'm driving it with 20 watts. We go up to 40 watts. I'm sure nobody out there will do this on the air, right, in the US. So there's 1 kilowatt on 10 megahertz into a dummy load. We go up to, that was with 40 watts drive. Let's go up to, I already showed you on 20 meters, 14 megahertz. There's 1 kilowatt there. And we're going to go up to 18 megahertz. And again, I'm into the dummy load. So here's 40 watts here. Over 1 kilowatt output there. And 15 meters. I think it takes a little bit more on 15 meters. That's pretty common, it seems like, on these solid state linears. Let's see what we get on 15 meters, 21 megahertz. So 900 watts out there, it's showing there. If I drive it up to closer to 60 watts, then we're at 1100 watts out on 21 megahertz. Okay, so we're going to go up to 24 megahertz. And again, to show that it'll do full power, I've got 40 watts drive on 24 megahertz here. Let's see here. So if I bump it up a little bit, see there we're approaching a kilowatt there. There we go. And up to 10 meters, 28 megahertz, and 43 watts on the K3. And so we're over 1 kilowatt output according to the Yaesu meter there. And last but not least, let's get up to 50 megahertz. And I'm not going to drive the amplifier as hard on 50 megahertz. Do your research. I think you'd probably be better off keeping this around 20 watts drive or 500, 600 watts out on 6 meters here. So there you can see the meter with a little over 20 watts drive. You're over 500 watts. So there we covered all the bands. I'm going to go back to 20 meters, 14 megahertz, and I just want to, I'm going to tune, I'm going to transmit. Here we're on high power. I'm going to key the carrier here. So that is, I think I've got that at 10 watts. So you're seeing about 220 watts out with 10 watts driving, and I want to just kind of watch the output here. And I'm up to, so now we got a constant carrier. So I'm up to 800 watts out. There's 40 watts drive. So there's 1 kilowatt out with 50 watts now. And as those MOSFETs heat up, the output's going to drop a little bit. But we're there. We're at 50 watts drive there that you can see. Constant carrier. And we're holding strong right at 1 kilowatt there. So I'm going to stop there. And you could hear the actual higher fan speed come on for the heatsink on the VL-1000. So I think that's about it. I just just a quick video to show you what you're getting here. You know it's working. It's clean. It's in good, clean shape. There are a few scratches on the top of the power supply and the amplifier, but you know, nothing to be concerned about. I mean, it's in really nice shape. The pictures, I will have links, obviously, on the ads we place on eHAM or QSL or eventually eBay. And the pictures will be high res and give you a better close-up view of everything that is included. Primarily, it's all the manuals. I'll have pictures of the cable interfaces, or the cable interface to the K3. There is a band data cable, like if you had a Yaesu radio with the DIN connectors, so that's included. Anyway, refer to the pictures and go from there. So good luck to anybody that ends up buying this Yaesu VL-1000. You're going to have a nice amplifier, and you can purchase with confidence. And look at the ads for the shipping details and all that. So 73 for now, and good luck. This is Max, NG7M. Thanks for looking.